I'm thinking about switching into a management position from sales. What do I need to know? I'm Scott Sylvan Bell. It's November 5th, 2017. 9:54 in the morning here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Perfect day to talk about sales and a perfect day to talk about what you need to know if you're going to switch into management. And I'm going to label video number 2, make sure to get everything in writing. And, here's what's going to happen is someone's going to say, hey, let's explore the option of you being in management. Okay. Well, what you really need to know and what you really need to lock down is what is your job and what are you responsible for. And this is going to become very important for the next video. But, sometimes managers and owners don't want to do that because, that locks them in of what you can and can't do, right? And in order for you to make the right decision, you need to know what your job is and what you're responsible for and what you're not responsible for and how you get paid and whatever other incidentals are important to you. So like for me, vacation time is way more important in some instances than pay. And I had a couple of companies come to me and say, hey Scott, we really want you to work for us. And I'd say, great, here's what I want. Here's the package that I want, after they told me their numbers. And they're like, well, you want 6 weeks of vacation. I'm like, well, I'm willing to take less pay for more time off, right? So I have different parameters. I'm not married. I don't have kids. I got a bird and I got a cat, right? And I love tropical locations. So that could have been a parameter for me. But, you got to figure out what's going to match up. And it's a strong sign that there's a problem if somebody doesn't want to give you a job description in writing. It is a warning. It is a very big warning that they don't want to discuss it and they don't want to have the conversation. If you're a big enough company, there should be an HR department and you should be able to go to the HR and say, what's the job description? Let me see what I'm responsible for. Let me see what, at the end of the day, I'm going to be held accountable for. And I promise you, if they don't want to give you one, it could be a sign that there's a problem and you might not want to look at that position. You might not want to do the job. So get everything in writing. Ask lots of questions, probe. And if they give you an answer, say, great, email it to me. But, you need to have that backup. You need to have that documentation because at some point, I'm going to promise you this. If you're in management, something's going to go sideways. And, someone's going to come back and say, we talked about it when you never did because, they have a bunch of people underneath them just like you would as a, you always want to get everything in writing. Just email it over to me. Just have that conversation with me. But get very specific. And if you don't understand something, get the answer. And if it's not written in, and they're not going to, if they're not willing to make that change and put it in the documentation, there's a reason for it. And you should start questioning, how come you don't want to put this in here? How come you don't want to do this? How come you don't want to do that? Right? And I'm going to let you know that it will come back to save you later on down the road. Get everything in writing. And if you got questions, get them answered and make sure that they're added. And you know what? Here's the thing. It may cost you $250, $300 to run things past a legal attorney. I wouldn't sign anything without looking at, especially in a management position with there's all sorts of requirements, and especially if money's involved, I would say, hey, look, it's worth it for me to pay the $250, $300, $400 to go talk to a labor law attorney and say, what am I getting into? What's the situation? And a lot of people are like, well, you don't need to go that far. I'm like, hey, look, it's my livelihood. I'm more than willing to talk to an attorney and say, well, how does this work out? What kind of contract are they trying to get me to sign? What am I excluded from? What can I and what can I do? And then I take those questions and I go to the company and say, tell me about this situation, and I want it in writing and what's going on. And once again, if they're not willing to do it, it could be a sign that there's a struggle. So this is video number 2 of what you need to know if you're looking at getting into management. Get everything in writing, get everything clarified before you accept the position. Now, if you could do a small favor for me in the box down below, leave a comment, question, or story, that'd be fantastic. To the right, to the left, there's a subscribe button. You know what you got to do. You got to subscribe. And last of all, you can send it out to all your friends via StumbleUpon, Facebook, Twitter, Google+. Why not even LinkedIn? Scott Sylvan Bell. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Aloha.